What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Masters Fantasy Podcast, brought to you by MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com. My name's Jonathan, a.k.a. The Commish. Joining me today, as always, we got the Doc. Returning to the show, Dynasty Owl. Good to have you back, my man.
Let's go.
It's doing great. You know me, love to talk rookies and always fantasy football. So good to be back.
Just one thing I wanted to pass along before we jump into it. MastersFantasyFootballLeagues.com, 700 Dynasty Leagues. We've never folded a single one. Take a look in the description. Got a link to the Dynasty Orphanage. New teams get posted every day. Half price is the previous owners paid your deposit. Definitely a good way to jump in and get your feet wet. Not what we're here to talk about, though. It's Dynasty Rookie Spotlight time. Next guy we got on the list here. I'm super excited because we got another Buckeyes wide receiver we get to talk about. The 1.11 in this year's NFL draft, Chris Olave to the New Orleans Saints. Tail of the tape on Olave, 6'1", or 189 pounds, 21 years old. Last season at Ohio State, 65 catches, 936 yards for 13 touchdowns. Your guys' thoughts on Chris Olave, the Dynasty prospect?
Sure. So I can kick us off if you want. Obviously, a lot of you guys know about Chris Olave already. Really polished route runner from a college prospect. And on top of that, he's got the top end speed. He's got that next gear. Seems like he's great at tracking the deep balls as well. Kind of reminds me of another fellow Buckeye that we talked on our last show, Terry McLaurin. But yeah, I like the prospect, and kind of like I said about Garrett Wilson, but almost a little more so with Olave. My only fear is he a little smaller on the thinner end in the 180s? Yeah. Would I like him more if he was 200? Sure, but he's not. It's not a huge concern for me, but just doesn't ever seem like a true number 100 reception a season type guy at 185 pounds, but could be wrong on that. Love the prospect, love the talent. That's my only concern.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that Al said there. I also, for whatever reason, feel like I don't value Olave or see him being like a legit number one receiver. But that being said, he has pretty much everything you'd want from a receiver in his toolbox. I know there's a lot of concerns about, I guess like in college, there wasn't a whole lot of, yards after the catch. So a lot of like deep balls caught in the end zone, stuff like that. So not as much, seeing him do a lot with the ball in his hands. So there's not as much of that playmaking ability. So those stats would say, and I don't know that he can't have that playmaking ability, but it is kind of weird that he would, not really have that much after the catch. But I still think, yeah, all those things Al said, great route runner, great speed. And I think that's all you really need.
Yeah, and I agree. Great route runner. One thing I will point out, if you're a Buckeye fan, you probably know, I still think he went the wrong way in that Clemson game. Should have went to the right, man. I think that was a touchdown that puts Buckeyes over Clemson. Neither here nor there. Let's talk about his fit in the NFL. Yeah, it's still sitting with me, man. His fit in the NFL with the New Orleans Saints. Let's just talk about the first couple years, the New Orleans Saints. How do you guys feel about that situation?
So kind of piggybacking on something the Doc just said, he said not a lot of yards after the catch in college, was kind of weird from a guy with his skill set, but it reminds both the situation and that remind me a lot of another guy. Reminds me of a guy who got drafted by the Falcons when they had Julio Jones, and that's Calvin Ridley. A guy that runs good routes, just always to me seemed like a really good number two. I always doubted, could he be a number one? And I was really on the wrong side of history for a while with that. So while I'll say the same things about Olave, he's just a number two, it's great that Michael Thomas is there, because I actually do think it's great Michael Thomas is there for Olave. He's the number one. Get Olave against the number two corners. Also, I think Jameis short term is a great quarterback just to throw some deep balls to him. So I kind of like the landing spot short term. Long term, who knows? Obviously the quarterback position is a wild card there. But yeah, it just kind of reminds me a lot of the Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones situation. And I think it worked out just fine for Ridley, and could see the same for Olave.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add to that. I think that's a great comparison. I haven't even thought of that. I think it's a nice, analogy there to Ridley's situation. I think he can be very productive But yeah, the same thing comes down to it. Do I really think he'll be more productive than Michael Thomas? No. But I mean, he very well could be. So I think that's why he's so valuable, because his floor seems pretty much set in stone. He's going to be solid, but will he ever be better than solid? That's the thing you're kind of looking at.
Yeah, and I actually like that he's got Michael Thomas kind of take him under his wing, help him out. Hopefully that gives him like a leg up in his rookie season. Yet to be determined. Love to see my Buckeyes paired up once again, though. And then last question, upcoming rookie drafts. Your guys' thoughts kind of where he's slotting in that first round, maybe outside of the first round. Where are you guys taking Chris Olave?
See, I think this is probably the widest range of outcomes out of the guys we've talked about so far for sure. I think anywhere from 1.4 to 1.9, 1.11. I don't know. Haven't thought about the floor too much, but definitely think you're going to see a wider range. You're going to get some Buckeye fans out there who will take him at 4 or 5, but then you're going to have other guys sit and pass until, there's really no key names on the board anymore.
Yeah, I was actually surprised you went as high as 1.4. Personally, Doc, where are you thinking about drafting?
Well, as soon as you said it, my range was 1.5 to 1.8. Yeah. I feel like he's going to be taken high just because he is that talented. And he, it's not the worst situation in the world. So I feel like he's still going to go relatively high, but I feel like there are enough kind of concerns that, he slides down the board a little bit.
Gotcha. All right, good stuff, guys.
Yeah,
and then last question. I got to put you on the spot here with a dynasty trade. A guy that's catching balls from his old quarterback. I'm gonna put him on the clock against right now. Dynasty football. You gotta tell me what side of this trade you want. Do you want Chris Olave or Darnell Mooney?
So I knew you were well as soon as you said the former quarterback. That's when I got it. That actually is a great pro player comp, I think. But I will say, I think the draft capital shows it. I think Olave is a better prospect than Mooney was. And no offense to Mooney. I mean, he's been overachieved since he got in the league, and I think he's got a bright future as well. But I would go Olave.
Olave. Doc, you agree?
I think I would agree. It's definitely tempting to take Mooney because at this point, I mean, like, he's like their only receiver of note. I feel like so. It's tempting to take that because he is still young and, he is tied to Justin Fields, who could be a long-term answer at quarterback for them. But I just got to take Olave. I think he is just a lot better prospect. And yeah, I'm anxious to see what he can do. I feel like that's always what it comes down to. Like I'll play the lottery,
Yeah, I'm with
and I could be wrong, but my guess is, JK, you haven't processed many trades where it's like Darnell Mooney for the 1.6. I think
I have not.
Yeah. Now maybe 1.11. I don't know. I haven't seen any Mooney trades like that out there, but maybe.
Yeah, I think that's a good question.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff as always, guys. Hey, if you guys at home could hit the like and subscribe button, love for you to come be a part of the Masters family. 700 Dynasty leagues. We've never folded a single one. Redrafts all the way from June 1st till the season kicks off. Take a look at the link in the description. Find all that good stuff down there. Any last words, guys?
Thanks for listening.